Well, Keith Hilly has joined us as always from 3UZ radio station in Victoria, and Max Presnell from the Sydney Morning Herald. It was Sydney Cup Day yesterday. Keith, I feel the Sydney Cup's made a bit of a comeback. Yesterday's field was one of the strongest for many, many years.
I think it was too, Bruce. An exciting performance by the winner, having only his 12th start, the Kiwi. I think we're going to see a lot more of him. He's being aimed for the Japan Cup. He's trying to do a treble that was last done by Rising Fast. Caulfield Cup, the Cox Plate and the Melbourne Cup. That's ambitious, isn't it?
It's not an easy one to do. I reckon Let's Elope might have done it last year had she been given the opportunity. Max Presnell, welcome once again. Is this horse up to that sort of standard? He has won at weight for age, winning the Ranvet Stakes.
Yes, well, My Eagle Eye has that bit of dash that is not common in 2-mile horses. He can accelerate. Of course, he didn't go into the Sydney Cup yesterday with a classic 2-mile preparation. He'd only had 6 starts. This time in, but he did show that dash. The race was run to suit him, but certainly he's not out of a race like the Cox Plate. A versatile horse, a very good horse.
Well, let's go to the Sydney Cup because there were a couple of runs in the race that were outstanding. Let's see the last 800 or 900 metres and we'll discuss their prospects for the rest of 1992.
My Eagle Eye is bailed up on the fence as they near the turn. He struck a spot of bother there. Demerit's about 7 lengths off the lead as they come to the 600 mark, followed by Actor Wait, and then Just a Dancer and Prince Side, and then Brashy and Magnolia Hall, followed by Equidity, Cool Reception. Further back is Valdano, and then Castletown, Just a Dancer, and Demerit is just on the inside of Just a Dancer as they top the rise. It's Melko in front of Ali Boy, Our Man of War, Equidity trying to pick them up. My Eagle Eye is now getting into the clear, and further out Just a Dancer. Demerit can't win. My Eagle Eye is bullocking through in the centre. My Eagle Eye reached the lead in the shadows of the post, and My Eagle Eye draws away to win the Sydney Cup over Equidity second. Third either Castletown or Melko, and Actor Wait close up with...
He had half a kilo more than Just a Dancer had last year when he won. He had the same weight as Kingston Town, Kerry, but Kingston Town was a 3-year-old and this horse is a 4-year-old. Max made a good point. The race was run to suit him. A dash home and his class came through.
Yes, first test at the distance, he certainly passed it, Bruce. You know, that horse was off the scene for almost 12 months with a cracked cannon bone, so trainer Murray Baker, who has had many trips through our shores with the Phantom, certainly got his reward yesterday.
Max, what about Castletown? We should mention his performance. He had a lot of weight yesterday. He's a proven 2-miler. He's an exceptional horse, isn't he, over that distance?
Yes, he ran his normal gallant race, but Bruce, don't leave the Sydney Cup without mentioning one man, Grant Cooksley. He's won the last 2 Sydney Cups now, the last 2 Metropolitans. A great training feat by Murray Baker, but it was Grant Cooksley's ride again that won the day. What a remarkable jockey, what a remarkable feat. I can't say the same for Jim Cassidy on Demerit. I don't think he rode Demerit all that well. The victim of circumstances, perhaps because Demerit was checked in the straight, didn't cost him the race, but I thought Jim gave too much start on a lightly weighted race and a lightly weighted horse in a slowly run race.
I just wonder, he wasted during the week. He rode Rough Habit to victory earlier in the day, whether that had taken something off the edge of Cassidy.
Gee, it certainly hadn't, Bruce, for the Rough Habit ride. That was a punishing finish, and Cassidy had to be very fit to get Rough Habit to the line.
Yeah, he did. Max, what was the feeling in Sydney during the week, that Jim was trying to bite off more than he could chew? I know that's a bit of a pun because he wasn't eating at all.
No, like Jim can handle that aspect of it. As Keith pointed out, Jim was too good on Rough Habit to blame the dieting. I just think he went out there with a preconceived idea. I think he felt that the tempo was going to be faster. It wasn't. I think last year it was running 3:19, 3:23 yesterday. You may argue that My Eagle Eye was very close to Demerit as far as their position to the leader was concerned, and went home better. But My Eagle Eye is a racehorse. He's a fast horse. He has run down Rough Habit. Demerit, he's a handicapper. He should have been closer.
Okay, it's a good point, and you've made some interesting points during the carnival, pointing out that even the champion jockeys make mistakes, and it's very true. The all-age stakes, we were talking about Jim Cassidy just a moment ago. Keith mentioned his vigour at the end of this race. It's one of the best finishes you'll ever see. Let's go to the all-aged.
And coming around the turn, Big Dreams is the leader. Old Roll in second place, being niggled a bit now as they turn for home. Quick Score third. Surface Paradise about to switch around those horses, and then Power Chief and Rough Habit as they come over the rise. Big Dreams the leader from Old Roll, who's under a bit of pressure coming over the hill. But Big Dreams though, Big Dreams going strongly at the 100 mark. He's still in front. Rough Habit, it's Big Dreams hard up against the inside rail. Quick Score in the centre. Rough Habit out under the arches. You've never seen a finish like.
Habit got it. He's won races now from 1200 to 2500. 2,400. He's won 18 out of 34. It's got a remarkable record. That race was 1,600 yesterday, but Keith, 6 of his wins have been at 1,400 metres. He's a versatile... This is the same horse that ran 5th in the Japan Cup last year. He is a decent horse, isn't he?
He's a very good horse, and he'll clash again with Quick Score in the Stradbroke in Brisbane in the winter.
Max, you made the point earlier when I think My Eagle Eye beat him in the Ranvet that he didn't do his absolute best that day, Rough Habit. Do you think that was just one of those days, or do you think he has that problem?
No. When I said he didn't do his best, I don't think he was fit enough in that occasion, wound up enough on that occasion to do his best. He has been regarded as a wet track horse. Randwick yesterday was in as fast a condition as it will ever be, so he destroyed that myth. But while I bagged Jim Cassidy before for his ride in the Sydney Cup, I must point out that it was a slowly run mile in the all-age stakes. Jim Cassidy gave a long start again and won. But the other point is, Rough Habit is a racehorse. Demerit, well, he's a handy horse.
Very briefly, Surface Paradise hasn't fired at all in Sydney. Excuses in the Doncaster, no excuses yesterday.
I think Surface Paradise is a bit iffy. You can get him on his day and he's sensational, but the day doesn't come along a lot. Certainly it did in the Cox Plate, it did in the Rosehill Guineas last year. The race wasn't run to suit him yesterday, but it wasn't run to suit Rough Habit either, but he got home. Yeah,
there's a difference between a horse that was absolutely giving his best and maybe a horse out of form. The Hallmark yesterday, gee, they went fast in this. Noble Lancer and Final Card spread eagle the field early, but Mocker and Dipman with a late run.
As they race up to the 600 metres mark, and Noble Lancer race clear of Final Card. River Love third, back with a Generous Prince, and then Spot the Rock, followed by Western Voyage and Last Tango Master as they turn. Coming over the rise, Final Card has quickly raced to the... and Twig wide out, but Fineman, Twig and Generous Prince getting home well. Oh, it's Mocker absolutely swamping Final Card, who stops to a walk, and Mocker has won going away from Final Card, and Generous Prince has flown into...
Soon, do you think, Max? Final Card?
No doubt about it, Bruce. They ran their first 633.3. Final Card couldn't get home. Incidentally, they came home quicker over the last 2 furlongs in the Sydney Cup than they did in that event.
Well, that sums it up.
You've got a nice knack of letting Max take the blame for criticising jockeys, Bruce, haven't you?
Oh, well, why not set him up? He's a long way away. Well, he doesn't mind coming forward, Keith, does he?
That's true.
In the event, a surprising winner of the Frank Packer Plate. Let's have a look at this race and a flashing finish from a horse who could just be on the way up.
Now they're starting to bunch up a bit. Barracuda by a length to Conchana. Mick Ali on the fences, hard ridden as they turn for home, and further back Mac Robert followed by the Fledgling. Over the rise they come, and the leader Barracuda headed now by Conchana. Silk Ali's in third place, going between the leaders if good enough, followed by Mr. Trevino. At the 200 mark, however, Conchana drew clear of Silk Ali on the inside. In the event has come out of the pack, and he's running on strongly. He's the danger, if any. In the event is swamping Conchana. In the event coming home far the better, grabs the lead, and he's raced away and beaten them very well. In the event scored well, tight for second between Conchana and Silk Ali.
Little tag to that story, Jim Cassidy was down to ride the horse. His wife Helen's a part owner, but they just Helen let Jim off earlier in the week because he was wasting, and Mark de Montfort got the ride. I like that horse, Max. I reckon he's a Melbourne Cup type horse for the future.
Oh, no doubt, Bruce, but I think you've got to keep in mind that they were the second division 2-year-olds, but 3-year-olds, but certainly he is an improving type. He will get better. He will win good races.
And Keith, did we see the second division 3-year-olds at Flemington yesterday with the St Leger Stakes, Dark Czar defeating Sub-Zero?
I think that's fair comment at this stage. They've probably both got a fair way to go, but Dark Czar, like Rough Habit did a few weeks ago, threw away yet another race. Bruce, he had the St Leger one, and he...
Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero. Yeah. He managed to turn victory into defeat.
Yeah, it's just hanging in again. Gee, Peter Hutchinson's had some sort of a week. He
3 group wins in a week.
Yeah, including the Oak Stakes at Group 1. It was a good ride again yesterday.
Sure was.
He might have been a bit underrated, Hutchie. I mean, he's a terrific fellow, and people have probably, I think, underrated him over the years, and he's just coming good.
They won't hold him back now. He's riding really well.
OK, here's the St Leger from Flemington. A good finish, Dark Czar and Sub-Zero.
Up towards the home turn, they've got 700 metres left to go on the Leger, and Bo Aaron by a half length in advance now. Moving up on the outside into the picture very quickly again is Confederate, and wider on the track then is Hirami putting in a claim, and very deep is Baron Samedi, followed by Memphis Dancer, and they're followed next then by Charleston Party. Metres left to go, Dark Czar just the leader. Dark Czar will win the Leger. Dark Czar has won it by a long hit to Sub-Zero, third Bo Aaron.
Won the Sweps Cup at Caulfield earlier in the year. He was 6-1, and the other Sub-Zero, I think, was 2's favourite. Yet Dark Zara, the last time they clashed, had beaten him home in the race, the Rosehill Guineas.
He's not bred to stay, Bruce, but neither was Kingston Town, was he?
No, and he won the Sydney Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Strange, isn't it?
Bruce, I want to mention the appointment of the VRC chairman, David Burke, as the chairman of the Asian Racing Region. It's probably one of the most significant steps, a new frontier for betting within Asia, Malaysia, Hong Kong and Australia, and I think that's the way of the future. It's a very significant appointment.
OK, well, our jockeys have been doing so well in Hong Kong, particularly over the years. Max, stay with us, because more racing after this. Simon Mills is going to join us, the man who rode Sir Sagamore at Oakbank on Monday in the Great East.
Jesse and Becky learn the real meaning.
The picnic race meeting in the Adelaide Hills will be remembered for a long time as the day where jumps jockey Simon Mills diced with death and won. Simon was riding Sir Sagamore in the Great Eastern Steeplechase, the feature event of the two-day meeting, when he appeared to be thrown from the horse. But what happened after that is one of the most horrifying things we've ever seen on a racetrack. Let's go back to last Monday, and Andrew Kay reports.
The first 2 laps of the gruelling 4,900 metre steeplechase had been earned for the final time. Disaster for 8-year-old grey gelding Sir Sagamore and Victorian jockey Simon Mills.
It's out by 2. Second, Sir Sagamore, who's nearly lost the rider. He's gone. The rider was unseated. In third placing, battling on there. Oh, he's still with that horse. He got dragged over the next fence, that rider.
As Sir Sagamore crashed, Mills was unable to free his right foot from the stirrups. The gelding immediately regained his feet and, with Mills still caught, dragged the jockey over the next fence before he finally crashed to the ground. Vinciamo went on to record a thrilling victory, but it was clear the only concern was for Simon Mills.
And we have an important call for the club doctor to the mounting yard immediately, please.
Considering his buffeting, the young jockey can count himself, and a few little heroes were already emerging, like fellow jockey Butch Londrigan, who pulled up his mount to lend assistance.
Probably cost third or fourth money, but...
Had seen it all before. She hopes this time is the last.
It's not worth it. Not when your life's at risk. Not like this.
Well, Simon has joined us today, and we've just been watching that incident again. Simon Mills, welcome to Sportsworld. Is Tracy going to get away? Are you going to give it away, or are you going to
No, I'll just go on, you know. It's just one of those things. It's part and parcel of what I do, and I'm just lucky to have got out of it.
Tracy said it's not worth it, Simon. $96 to be bounced around like a rag doll. Is it worth it?
Oh, well, you know, I don't go around. It's my sport, and I don't go around for the so-called $96 or $100, whatever you want to call it. It's, you know, it's what I do, and that's the risk I take.
I guess you were looking at a lot more than $96 before you became unseated, because Sir Sagamore looked as if he had a good chance of winning a very rich race.
Yeah, he was travelling real well, but that's racing.
Simon, that incident stopped every race go at every track around Australia. Everyone just gasped with horror. Hardly a word was spoken. Should there be some release in the stirrups where a jockey could kick free a trapped leg?
Well, you know, I'm not really in a position to say, but I know what I'd rather do. I'd rather go back out and do what I've been doing for, you know, all my life. It's, I've always, if I've ever had a fall, I've always come free. It was just one of those things where, you know, my foot, it got in a position where it just didn't come free, and it was just one of those freakish things. But no, I probably wouldn't want to wear what the new type of stirrup they're trying to bring forward. It's you know, because you could go through a race. A lot happens through a race that people don't understand from like watching in their TABs and whatnot. And you know, if it was to open up halfway through a race and you were still on the horse, well, you're in a bit of strife if you're still on him and you've got your irons sort of come away anyway.
Sure. We just had a look at the replay again, and we're going to show it one more time. What was your feeling when it was going on? I mean, you appeared to be very relaxed. Maybe that's not the word, but you maintained some composure, I felt, even though you were being bounced along, and maybe that helped you. I can't believe that your right leg's still with us. And it is, it's in one piece at the moment. Here. I mean, tell us, as we relive this now, what was going through your mind, if anything?
Oh, just at this stage, I was sort of more concerned with getting free, but, you know, I could see the fence coming and...
He jumped high and he carted you over the fence, really, didn't he?
Yeah, he took off pretty well, and by the time I got to the fence, because I was sort of hanging out the back...
Did that jump save bones and maybe even a life?
Oh, yeah, I suppose you could say that.
Max, only the one jumping race at Rose Hill each year. You wrote an article about Simon during the week. Jumping racing doesn't get a big go. And Simon, we talked to during the week and said, don't bag jumping racing, whatever. What's your feeling on jumping racing from Sydney, looking at afar where you see very little of it during a year?
Yeah, we do see the videos. Well, I classify jumping racing like prize fighting. I don't know whether it's really necessary, but when there's a good fight on or a good steeplechase, I'm first in the queue to go and see it. But I'd like to congratulate Simon. I think jump jockeys are special people. You've just heard and seen what that young man's been through, yet he can say, that is my sport, some sport. Congratulations, mate.
Max, Keith made the point that everybody in Australia stopped and watched this race. Now, you had a meeting at Randwick on the same day where there were 3 Group 1 races, much more important races than the Great Eastern Steeple. What was the reaction at Randwick looking at this little, or not little meeting, but this picnic meeting that attracts so many people in the Adelaide Hills?
The reaction at Randwick was all Oakbank. The meeting basically stopped. Everybody wanted to know how the jockey was. It was put over the public address system that Simon had come through it okay. Well, okay, apart from a broken arm and probably other sundry bruises. But I would say it was the major happening of Easter Monday.
And Keith, they brought out the Hessian screen. Now, when they bring that out, usually it means, unfortunately, that a horse is going to be put down. They brought it out for Simon. It must have been a worrying moment.
I think you're using a bit of poetic licence there. But I tell you what, my heart missed a beat when that jump was coming up. I don't know how yours was, Simon.
No, it was beating, I can tell you. But as I said, it's just part of what I do, and you know, I'll just go on from here.
Butch Londrigan and the part he played, we've had him on just a moment ago saying that my mate's life is more important than running 3rd or 4th in a Great Eastern.
Oh, look, I'm indebted to David. It just goes to show we're all the same out there, and we all feel the same about the sport. We all love it, and if any of our fellow riders are in trouble, as you could see from the video replay, you know, David was the first one to just give the race away and concentrate on one of his friends.
Bruce, it's a sport that Simon's good at too. He's currently the leading jumps jockey in Victoria. He started off as an amateur. You didn't do an apprenticeship, did you?
No, that's right, yep. I went around the amateur circuit for a few years, and then I'd done what I want there, and I couldn't sort of do any more, so I applied for a professional licence.
And you're also, are you in an apprenticeship as a plumber, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. I'm 4th year apprentice with Gibbs Plumbing in Gisborne.
Why not?
No, but I just would like to say one thing. I've got to thank Mark, my boss, because I've been out a couple of times and they've been really great with putting up with it, and the way things are at the moment, the economic climate, you know, it's very easy just to get another plumber.
Well, listen, I've got a problem with one of my taps at home, so
I've got a spouting problem too, Bruce.
Oh, we know that. You've had that for, how old are you? You've had a spouting problem for 50 years, Keith.
That's a wind-up signal, Bruce.
Yeah,
please take it.
Here we go. Simon, don't go away. We're about to look at those 4 Group 1 races that have been run at Randwick during the week. Here's a wrap. We start with Burst winning the size produce.
Dye is sitting quietly on Burst. He had the best look back you've ever seen to see where King Marauding is, and now he goes for home. And Burst got about a half length on Commissar, who's boxing on strongly. 2 lengths away is King Marauding and Merry Shade. He's got to go for Burst. Commissar is coming again on the inside. Burst about a neck in front. Commissar trying his heart out, but the filly's too good, and she got away right on the line.
Burst is now 2/3 of the way to completing the Triple Crown. Terce won the Triple Crown last year and Luskin Star back in 1977. To the Queen Elizabeth Stakes, the favourite was Rough Habit, but most punters were hoping for Superimpose.
Superimpose taking a while to get going. Rough Habit sprinted quickly at the 200 mark and raced about a half in front of My Eagle Eye, and then Equidity, and Superimpose can't win. Rough Habit starting to draw right away in the last bit. My Eagle Eye running a sterling Sydney Cup trial, but Rough Habit too good and wins the Queen Elizabeth from My Eagle Eye.
Another Group 1 success for Rough Habit, this time on top of the ground. He goes on to Brisbane, where he's sure to be a major player. To the Galaxy, Euclay's the odds-on favourite, but Scalacci again in rare form.
Scalacci trying to bullock out of a pocket. Street Ruffian's gone, and then Yellow Lad and Friends Venture. Euclay's going strongly at the 200 mark. Scalacci is coming after him now. Dittman goes for the whipper. Scalacci ranges alongside. Old Friends Venture is rattling down the outside, but Scalacci shot clear close to home, and he's drawing away and is going to win well. Scalacci wins the Galaxy.
Scalacci is now upstage Placid Arc, winning the big three in Melbourne, the Lightning Stakes, the Oakley Plate, the Newmarket and the Galaxy in Sydney in the one season. To the Oaks.
Clear on top of the rise, and Sea Rhapsody hit the front in the Oaks, but My Brilliant Star has burst through in the centre. My Brilliant Star shot to the front past the 200 mark over Sea Rhapsody, and then Swiss Cotton Meadow is annihilating them, racing away in the last bit and scores easily. My Brilliant Star won the Oaks, Swiss Cotton second, third Regal Sea.
So that was a wrap from during the week. Max, very briefly, Burst, will she complete the Triple Crown in the Champagne?
That's difficult, but without knowing the field, the barrier positions, nor the state of the track, I'd say yes.
OK, she is the one to beat. We'll see you next week, Max. Keith Scalacci, is he better than Placid Arc?
I think he's certainly as good as Bruce, and in any other year he'd be Horse of the Year, wouldn't he? But let's salute his performances that no other horse has done recently.
I think she's got that wrapped up. Simon, thanks for coming in. Good luck with your future.
Thanks,
and Jamie Evans was in here about 12 months ago. His leg was in a terrible mess, and he rode the winner of the Great Eastern. So there's lots of hope, isn't there?
I'll see you soon, Simon, and you're more charitable. I'll see you next week too, Bruce.
Good on you, Keithy. Good luck with that spouting problem. Martin Vinicombe after this.